जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरदारी यशोदनन्दना व्रज Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Make the life path Lita Pavana एवं विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजक आचार्य कष्ट श्रीमद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की और विश्व सम्मिल देवोटी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna, reading of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 4, Text 21. 4:21. मावापदव्यपितर अस्मद् आस्तिता मावापदव्यपितरस्मद् आस्तिता यायज्ञशीलशुनात् धूमवर्तमाभिः यायज्ञशालशुना धूमवर्त्मभिः तदन्न तृप्ते ईडिता तदन्न तृप्तेरसुबुद्धिरीडिता अव्यक्तलिंग अवधूत सेविता माधवपदव्यपितरस्मदास्तिता यायज्ञशलासुनधूमवर्तमाभिः तदन्न तृप्तेरसुबुद्धिरीडिता अवधूत सेविता अव्यक्तलिंगा अवधूत सेविता. What sort of meaning? Ma are not Vah yours Padavyaha opulences Pitaha O Father Asmat Astitaha possessed by us. Ya which opulences? Yagnashalishu Yagnashalashu in the sacrificial fire. Not Dhumavartmavihi by the path of sacrifices. Tat Anna Triptai satisfied by the foodstuff of sacrifice. satisfied by the foodstuff of the sacrifice.
Asubritbihi,
Asubritbihi,
satisfying bodily necessities.
satisfying bodily necessities.
Yedita,
Yidita,
praised.
praise.
Avyaktalinga,
Avyaktalinga,
whose cause is unmanifested.
whose cause is unmanifested.
Avadhuta Sevitaha,
Avaduta Sevita,
achieved by the self-realized souls.
achieved by the self-realized soul.
Translation and purport by Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. My dear father, the opulences we possess is impossible for either you or your flatterers to imagine. For persons who engage in food activities by performing great sacrifices are concerned with satisfying their bodily necessities by eating foodstuff offered as a sacrifice. We can exhibit our opulences simply by desiring to do so. This can be achieved only by great personalities who are renounced, self-realized souls. I repeat the translation. My dear father, the opulences we possess is impossible for either you or your flatterers to imagine. For persons who engage in the fruity activities by performing great sacrifices and concerned with satisfying the bodily necessities by eating the foodstuff offered as a sacrifice. We can exhibit our opulences simply by desiring to do so. So this can be achieved only by the great personalities who are renounced or self-realized souls. Purport. Sati's father was under impression that he was exalted in both prestige and opulence, and that he had offered his daughter to a person who was not only poor but devoid of all culture. Her father might have taken thinking that her father might have been thinking that although she was a chaste woman, greatly adherent to her husband was in a deplorable condition. To counter such thought, Sati said that the opulence possessed by her husband could not be understood by the materialistic person like Daksha and his followers, who were flatterers and were engaged in fruitive activities. Her husband's position was different. He possessed all the opulences, but he did not like to exhibit them. Therefore, such opulences are called avyakta or unmanifest. But if required simply by willing, Lord Shiva can show this his wonderful opulence, and such an event is predicted here, for it would soon occur. The opulence of Lord Shiva possesses is enjoyable in the renunciation and love of Godhead, not the material exhibition of sense gratificatory methods. Such opulences are possessed by the personalities like Kumaras, Narada, Lord Shiva, not by others. In these words, the performers of Vedic rituals are condemned. In these words, the performers of Vedic rituals are condemned. They have been described here as Duma Vartmavihi, those who maintain themselves on the remnants of sacrificial foodstuffs. There are two kinds of foodstuff offered in sacrifice. One kind is offered in the food ritualistic sacrifice, and the other, the best is the food offered to Vishnu. Although in all the cases Vishnu is the chief deity in the sacrificial altar, the performers of fruitive rituals aim to satisfy various demigods to achieve in return some material prosperity. The real sacrifice, however, is to satisfy the Lord Vishnu, and the remnants of such sacrifice are beneficial for advancement in devotional service. The process of elevation by performing sacrifices other than those aimed at Vishnu is very slow. and therefore it has been condemned in these words. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur has described the ritualistic performers to be like crows because crows delight in eating the remnants of foods which has been thrown in the dustbin. All the brahmanas who were present for the sacrifice were also condemned by Sati. Whether or not King Daksha and his flatterers could understand the position of Lord Shiva, Sati wanted to impress upon her father that he should not think her husband to be without opulence. Sati, being the devoted wife of Lord Shiva, offers all kinds of material opulences to the worshippers of Lord Shiva. This fact explains in Srimad Bhagavatam in the 10th canto. The Lord Shiva's worshippers sometimes appear more opulent than worshippers of Lord Vishnu because Durga or Sati, being in the superintendent of in charge of material affairs, can offer all material opulences to the worshippers of Lord Shiva in order to glorify her husband, whereas the worshippers of Vishnu are meant for spiritual elevation and therefore their material opulence is sometimes found to decrease. These points are very nicely discussed in the 10th canto. Gomajnanatimirandasya jnananjanashalaakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Padakamalam Nigurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajata Sagana Adavanatam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sajana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Rupesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं भङ्गं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुवन्द्यतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो Hare Krishna. I see the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas. So here it is Sati is trying to instruct her father Daksha and trying to educate them about the position of Lord Shiva. So the Daksha and his associates are under the impression that Lord Shiva is not up to the standards, not up to their status. Like it is said that in the metal world, uh, in Telugu we have a proverb, like Viyanaka and Nayanaka means it means for even to develop a relationship or to fight, somebody should be of equal stature. Like you cannot go and like especially with respect to marrying someone's daughter. They should look for somebody who is actually on the equal level. And so, even to fight also, somebody should not fight with too powerful person or too less person also. So, so here, with respect to Daksha, he was thinking that he had given his daughter, Mother Sati, to Lord Shiva only due to Brahmaji's advice, and he regrets that decision. So, and he was very much carried away by the external appearance or uh, externals of Lord Shiva rather than focusing on the internals. So, so basically, in the last class, Shyam Prabhu actually very nicely narrated that pastime of that what is Mehta, Narsingh Mehta. Hmm? And before narrating that, he quoted one words. There are people who are attached to the material existence, and there are people who are detached from the material existence, and there are people who are transcendental. Hmm? So attached people, they have to follow karma kanda process. For example, a grostha or somebody like that, they have to follow karma kanda process so that they will gradually come to the platform of detachment. And detached people who are in the renounced order, brahmachari or sannyasi, they have certain duties. Grosthas have certain duties. They have to take care of families in certain way. They have to uh, feed all the other ashramas, brahmachari, vanaprasthan, sannyasa. They have to take care of the guests. They have to like take care of the animals, or pashu, javada, bandushu, like that. There are 9, 10 aspects are there. It is his dharma, his duty to take care of all of those. And the renounced order person has certain duties, not storing anything, or always dependent on Krishna, and not to entangle in opposite sex, all those things. Like totally detached from the material existence and totally dependent on Krishna, for their survival and all those things. And Mother Sati quotes these two kind of people. Attached people, they have to follow karma kanda. Detached people, they have to follow jnana kanda. Hmm? But there are another level who are called transcendentalists, Paramahamsas, if we say Avadutas. For them, these rules, regulations don't apply because they are above all these rules and regulations. So, Lord Shiva is one, like he's directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is taking care of the in charge of mode of Tamogun, but still he actually presents himself as the greatest devotee. Of course, he's the greatest devotee. He shows by his example how to lead the life in this material existence with total detachment and completely focused on Krishna. Hmm. So it is said that, uh, especially the process of karma kanda and jnana kanda, it involves a lot of hearing and chanting, like a lot of rituals, you know, reciting of mantras and Vedic rituals, all those things. Veda, studying of Vedas, Upanishads, all those things. And Shravanam and Kirtanam should lead to Smaranam. Yes? Savai Punsha Parodharma Eto Bhaktira Dokshasati Ahetaki Pratihata Yatma Suprasidati means whatever we do in this middle existence, that should come to the platform of bringing us closer to Vasudeva. Vasudeva is all in all. There is nothing other than nothing is more important. Nothing there is nothing existed except Krishna. That is the platform one should reach. Then that person in the right path. And after reaching there, he has to maintain himself there. Okay? So, like it means, like for example, if you see all the processes, like even Ashtanga Yoga also, it started Yama, Niyama, Asana, Dhyana. When it comes to Samadhi, hmm, And also our bhakti yoga process, also Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, all those things. And finally, it leads to uh, intense after Anatha Bhava and Prema stage. Hmm. So in that stages, what happens is intense Smaranam happens. Means the devotee will not be able to forget Krishna even for a second, even for a moment also. Even if he forgets Krishna for a moment, he will feel as if he lost his life. Yugaitam Nishini. So that is the goal of a bhakti yogi. And Lord Shiva is on that level, because if you see especially even the devotees on the Bhava stage, they totally lose external consciousness. Hmm? Like this can be like in the Ashtanga Yoga process, it is called Samadhi. They don't have external consciousness. Their body is here, but they are totally focused internally. Even in the Prema stage, in the Bhava stage, Bhava and Prema, right? Bhava, after Bhava, Prema. So Bhava and Prema stage, especially on the stages, a person might be doing something, but he's totally lost in some other thing. That Prabhupada gave the example of that lady who is maintaining what do you call it? Extramarital affair. Even though she is doing all the duties, but her total meditation is on her lover. So in that way, a devotee will lose external consciousness many times. So even that in the case of Samikrishi also, he totally lost external consciousness. So that is the opulence of the transcendentalists. Opulence of the transcendentalists is their attachment to Krishna, and detachment from material existence automatically happen due to attachment to Krishna. So that's why in the sadhana bhakti process, they focus on anartha nivritti and artha pravritti. We not only detach from all the unwanted things, but also you should know to whom you have to get attached to. Because otherwise, the soul being anandamaya abhyasa means always pleasure seeking. If you don't attach yourself to something higher, then automatically it will get attached to something lower. So it is like uh, like yesterday Prabhuji was saying about the pancha koshas, pleasure on the different levels, okay? And Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. So he gave a book like traveling to the inner self. So in that book I was reading, I read one words, okay, like one boy goes to a sadhu and says, I have so many problems. How can I get out of this, and how can I achieve happiness? Mm. And this sadhu says, okay, uh, you go and gets like one fistful of salt, and that boy goes and drinks. And sadhu kept one cup of water and says, put that salt in this water, and he put that salt in that water. And then he states it nicely. Then, okay, drink it. And that boy tried to drink that water. Said, "Oh, too much salt. I can't drink it." Okay. Then that sadhu takes that boy and then said, "Go and get the same amount of salt what he brought previously." So that boy goes and get one fistful of salt. So now that sadhu takes that boy to the lake. Said, now throw that salt in that lake. The lake is a freshwater lake. So this boy throws that salt in the freshwater lake. So then said, well, drink that lake water. And this boy drank the lake water. How do you feel? Oh, this water is so nice. I can drink more, like that he says. So then Sadhu says, did you observe anything? The amount of salt is the same. Hmm? The difficulties, the struggles of your life are the same. But if you contain yourself only as a cup of water, you will think that even a small problem will become much bigger. But if you expand your consciousness like a lake, means your consciousness, you have to keep yourself involved in so many things, like not like material things. You should have a broader outlook of the life. Then the problems will be insignificant. So means to say, uh, like now, there is one more example. How like now, somebody going on the road, he has to now and then he has to get into some pebbles and stop signs. He has to get in touch with the hard surface of the road. But the same person, if he rises himself above, he goes, he flies. There are no hindrances. You can directly pass by all the struggles. So it is up to us to raise our consciousness, to expand our consciousness. Like that's why reading Srimad Bhagavatam and taking the association of the great souls, they by their association will be able to like increase our thinking process, like no, like the level of our thinking. We will not only think about our problems or my job, my relationship, my happiness, my distress of this life. We will think the overall life of like continuing from many lifetimes, like repeated birth and death. Now, okay, not about this life, about next life. So that's why if you see, like for a person who is actually who actually involves himself in certain family structure or certain confinement, he'll be struggling. Oh, I need to earn money, I need to maintain that relationship, this relationship, all those things. But a sadhu, if you take, he has expanded his consciousness so much so that he is not only thinking about this life or any individual person, he thinks of total like mental existence as null and void. Like for him, all the mental problems are insignificant because he actually raises his consciousness to the next level. Hmm? Even if he doesn't get food, he doesn't mind. Even if he doesn't get honor, doesn't mind. Even somebody loves him, doesn't mind. Even don't nobody loves him, doesn't mind. Somebody gives him honor and do nice puja, he is okay. And somebody insults him, somebody scolds him, he's okay. He's indifferent to all these things because he's not thinking about one particular aspect. He's not confining himself to this life or this circumstance or this thing. In like they think on the level of in this vast metal existence, this is insignificant. That's why if you see Sukadev Goswami and four Kumaras, they just keep walking. They just keep walking naked. Shyam was showing the picture of Haridas Thakur. He was wearing copan and he was going in ecstasy. So they don't care about all these, like honor, dishonor, like all these socialistic concerns. In the same way, Lord Shiva also is totally oblivious to all the material formalities. He is totally lost himself in his meditation on Krishna. So that's what like in the when somebody does bhakti or any spiritual practice, somebody might do a lot of rituals, yajnas, yagas, all those things. Even when we are doing services also, it is not how much quantity or that we have done. Like, oh, I have done this much reading, this much kirtan. Like, means like all the different things we can do, but it depends on how deeply you are doing, even if you are doing one aspect also. Somebody reading Srimad Bhagavatam, we can go deeply and like go deeper and deeper and see the relevance of that words, what he is reading. Or when he is chanting, you can go deeper and deeper into that chanting process, totally meditating on Krishna. So, so like externally, Daksha might be doing many things. You're doing yajnas, yagas, all the brahmanas, all the social customs, rituals, all those things. But internally, Shiva is totally meditating on Krishna. That's why Madhavendra reports this verse, right? Sandhyavandana Bhadramastu Bhavato Bhosnana Tubhyam Namo Bhudeva Pitarascha Tarpana Vidunaham Shamattam Yatrakvapi. So I will read the translation. That's a nice words. I am not able to read it. So, oh my evening prayers, oh all good unto you. Oh my morning bath, I bid goodbye to you. Oh demigods and forefathers, please excuse me. I am unable to perform any more offerings to your pleasure. Now I have decided to free myself from all these reactions to sins simply by remembering anywhere and everywhere the great descendants of Yadu, the great enemy of Kamsa, Lord Krishna. I think that is sufficient for me. So, what is the use of further endeavors? So, he is saying no bathing, no prayers, no morning, evening prayers, and no rituals, no demigods, no forefathers, all the rituals. Thank you very much. I'll just remember Krishna, and whatever the reaction that I might come, I will be able to contact just by remembering Krishna. So if you see, yeah, it's Bhagavad Gita. Wow, yes. It is the position of great souls. But of course, if you are not exalted like them, we should not emulate them. We know the example of Shankaracharya, right? Shankaracharya, she was going with his disciples, and he felt thirsty. He went to some liquor shop. He took a liquor. Brahman is going into Brahman. He drank the liquor. Seeing all his disciples, oh, our guru is taking liquor. We'll also take. And then they also took the liquor. Then Brahman is going to Brahman and they drank. And after some time, after walking for 2 or 3 miles more, Shankaracharya wanted to teach his disciples not to imitate him. So there was the blacksmith. He has a molten lead or iron. Okay. Yeah. So he said he took about the molten lead and said Brahman is going to Brahman and he drank the molten iron. And now you look at these disciples. Disciples are scared. No, nobody were there to touch because we cannot imitate the great souls. All these rituals are not for the great souls because they actually transcended all these stages. Lord Shiva can meditate on Krishna, but of course, we are not getting, we are not taking any inspiration. We should take inspiration from Lord Shiva only to reach the stage of constant meditation on Krishna. But we should not lose ourselves in the ritualistic. What is the purpose of all these ritual things is to bring us to that level of always remembering Krishna. There is one verse I'm not able to recall. He says, so remembering Krishna all the time is the essence of all the scriptures. That's what like Sarvo Vidhi Nishiddhashur Etayor Kinkara means all the vidhis and all the rituals are all the servants of this one aspect of always remembering Krishna. So if you are able to remember Krishna, just like uh, Gopis and Vrunda, they are fully meditating on Krishna. Their meditation, their intense, so intense. No? As soon as they think that Krishna is walking barefoot in the forest, immediately they started crying. Oh, Krishna's feet are so soft. No, how many pebbles, how many stones it might hurt. Means that is the level of meditation. That is the level of constant remembrance that we have to achieve. Until we reach that stage, we have to take the process of within process only. We should not imitate the great souls. So that thing, that stage we can reach by two process, by our severe Tivra Bhakti, Tivrena Bhakti Yogena, and by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. So basically, Guru and Krishna, will looking at our Tivra intense sadhana and intense service, they will award that smaranam. So that's why English says, right? Bhakti is not achieved, it is awarded. So, so best way is serve the Vaishnavas, serve like serve holy name, serve all the aspects of bhakti with utmost care and utmost humility, so that we'll be able to, we'll be given that aspect of intense param towards Krishna. So, but one should never compare, one should never imitate, the great souls. One should never artificially put ourselves on that position. We should know what is our position and do accordingly. We should have the greed, intense desire, greed, what the laulyam, but at the same time, we should not imitate. Anukaran and Anusmaran. What is Anukaran? We have to imitate the persons like who is actually like we can, whom we can correlate. And Anusmaran means the great souls by just glorifying and appreciating the great deeds performed by the great souls, we get the inspiration for us to perform our sadhana, perform our seva nicely. Okay. So here Mother Sati is is explaining about the opulences. Okay. So there was like if you see the opulences, materialistic opulences, uh, the materialistic opulences will give us pleasure, but when compared to spiritual opulences, these pleasures are insignificant. Like I heard that example, like Madhvacharya is there. When he was a child, his father took some loan from somebody, and it was time for the lunch. Madhvacharya goes to call his father to lunch, and Madhvacharya's father is trying hard to convince his what called lender that no, I will pay later, like that is. But is that person is not getting convinced? And Madhvacharya goes and says, Father, come, we are getting late for the lunch, like that he was calling. And Madhvacharya's father says, No, you go and take lunch, I will join you later. No, father, I wanted you to come to join the lunch. Like that, he was a little bit, stubborn there. And then Madhvacharya's father says, See, I have took money from him. I have to pay him back. Until that point of time, he is not going to leave me, like that he says. Oh, how much money do you owe? Like that he asks. So it's a good amount. It's like some very good amount. So Madhvacharya goes there. They are discussing under tamarind tree. Okay. So under tamarind tree, there are tamarind seeds. So Madhvacharya picks these tamarind seeds and said, and then take this, and he puts in the hand of that lender. And that tamarind seeds, when they are in the hands of Madhvacharya, they transform into gold coins. And that person is fell and said, "Oh, these are much valuable than what I means completely he pays off the loan." Hmm. So and means material opulences are nothing for Madhvacharya. But the same Acharya, after a few months, he said, Father, I want to take Renounce order. I want to take sannyas. Why do you want to take sannyas? Don't do that. I'll beg you. I'll fall at your feet. Now. I'll touch your Lord's feet. Then he says, the father says, and then he touches the feet of Madhacharya. Then Madhacharya, see, you gave me the permission. In Vedic culture, nobody touches the feet of a younger person. But you touched my feet means I'm already renounced. Means you accepted me as a sannyasi. A elder person will touch the feet of younger person only if he's a sannyasi. So I'm taking sannyas. So he was very much, he is the incarnation of uh, Bhima and also Vayu. So means for them, the personalities like them, the metal opulence are insignificant. We also have the example of Sanatan Goswami, right? He has touchstone. He kept touchstone in some garbage. And this Brahmana who actually uh, got benediction from Lord Shiva goes to ask touchstone, and Sanatan Goswami says, "Go and see in that garbage." And he goes and see in the garbage and touchstone. He took and he put. He's getting whatever he's wanted, he desired, and he got it out. If this is so valuable, then why Sadhu Goswami is put in the garbage and then goes and asks, my dear sir, why you put this such a valuable thing in the garbage? Said, that is insignificant when compared to the wealth that I have. So what is it? You first throw that touchstone in the Yamuna, then I'll give you. So he throws that touchstone and then he initiates with Hare Krishna mantra. So the spiritual practice and spiritual pleasures are disproportionately way higher in opulence, in giving pleasure. What is the purpose of all opulences? Is to give us pleasure. So, but the spiritual pleasure is the highest pleasure. But due to our conditioning, we may not be able to realize. Coming to morning program, chanting is the should give us more pleasure than anything else. But due to our conditioning, we may not be able to reach that. But in a purified, as we keep on doing that, we'll be able to reach that by Krishna's and Guru's mercy. We'll be able to reach them and realize the opulence of spirituality. That's what I can speak of. If anybody have anything to add, please. Hare Krishna. Anybody have anything, any questions or comments on that? Okay. India Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai. Please excuse me as your humble servant if I have spoke anything. Thank you, Lord. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.